Distinct minds, welcome to the white tree. I looked at this tree and I thought it was like so beautiful. It's crazy how nature can be your greatest teacher on beauty. I want to talk about why work is an illusion and that there's really no such thing as work. And when I mean work, I mean the kind of cultural collective consensus that we feel pressured to fit into. You know, a lot of us feel pressure to get a job, or even feel pressure to be productive, to do, as if who we are at the core isn't enough. And you know, for me, I felt this pressure so much, you know, from just being pressured to going to university, to make something of myself, to fit into the workforce. You know, I was only sold this reality, which is that you need to work and make money. That was the reality I was sold to. And, you know, this made me feel as though I needed to work, I needed to do things. I should do this and I should do that, and who I am is not good enough. I need to do this and that, and please my parents, please my boss, get some money so I can be secured. And it just didn't make any sense to me. And you know it doesn't make sense to you when you go into these places, you go into your work, and you just don't feel good, you don't feel fulfilled, you feel like something's missing. And that's what happened to me. I was going into my work and I just didn't feel. I asked myself, is this what my life is gonna look like for the rest of my life? I said, fuck that. That's like, I'm gonna be depressed. There's gotta be more to life than this. And that's what really set me on my spiritual path. But back to what I was trying to say is that in life, it's all about who we are becoming, right? And it's not about doing, it's about who is the being behind the doing. And the problem is that when we are grown up in this current culture, we have these pressures to do this and that, and we should do this and we should do that, and all these shoulds, and oh, I think I should do this. But we never address the core of everything, which is being, because doing stems from being. So if you're always, you know, being productive, you're doing a lot of work, you might be doing this just because you don't feel accepted, you don't feel loved at your core, and so you feel like you need to compensate yourself with all this productivity and other types of doing. So again, it's about falling in love with yourself by becoming the person that already has the life that you so desire, right? Creating a life you don't need to escape from. And you know, when we talk about becoming the person, when we talk about becoming, we have to realize that you have to know what life you want to live, right? What life you want to have. What do you look like? What are you doing on the ideal day? What are you doing every day? You know, what does a perfect day look like? Not about the destination, but about the journey, right? So it's like you have this destination of the perfect journey, let's say. And when you can craft that in your own mind and it feels good to you, then you can become the person that already has that life. right? Where every day you are living your passion, you're doing what gives you energy. And when we talk about work, especially in this day and age, money, it's about becoming the person that can attract money. Let's say you want $10,000 a month. It's not about getting $10,000 a month, right? That's from a place of lack. It's about becoming the person that attracts $10,000 a month, right? What would it look like for you to attract $10,000 a month? So let's say you love cooking. Maybe that means you need to make cooking videos, create a cookbook, and really attract people. But again, it's about lining up your passion with the passion of others, and that intersection is where money flows to you, right? Because you are doing things that give you energy and also doing things that give others energy. So that for me is the definition of work. And it's still, for me, it's not about work. It's about becoming the person that, attracts money, a person that benefits others, that benefits yourself and other people. And at the end of the day, it's really just about living your passion, right? Living the life that you ultimately want to live. And you don't necessarily need to make money. Maybe for you, you need to just draw and chill and maybe even get lost. But for those of us that want to, make money and to be abundant in the material sense of the world, then it's just about becoming the person that can attract money. So again, we have to ask ourselves, what is the ideal life we want to have? Think about it like this. If you were a time traveler and you deliberately lived already lived like millions of lives, all right? Think about it. This is just one life, but you are really who you are as a time traveler, and you've already lived millions of lives. And you deliberately chose to come back to this life just to enjoy it, right? So what would it mean if you put that into perspective? What would it mean for you to enjoy this life? For your soul to enjoy this life? What would it mean for you to love living? And that is the answer to who you want to be, really. Because wherever you find yourself most joyous, most peaceful, most excited, that is really who you really are. And yeah. Another thing that helps me as well is to picture, the moment you were born until the moment you die is just a big movie. Right? We're all watching these movies on Netflix, and same for me. But really, the biggest movie is our own life. That is the movie. We're watching it right now. The trees around you, right? You are the hero of your movie. And you have to ask yourself, what scenes do you want to create in the movie of your life? So for me, I think I want to create scenes where I'm traveling the world, cliff jumping, just having a blast with friends, playing the guitar, being able to go on ski vacations. That is scenes that I want in my movie. And to even take this down to a micro level, you can think of the things you're already doing in your day-to-day life and to say, well, what would a scene from my ideal movie look like? So let's say you're having breakfast, and usually, you make toast and you're on your phone and you're not really there, you're not really enjoying. Maybe for you, the ideal breakfast might look like you go out, you get yourself a nice cup of coffee, some fresh blueberry muffins, and you are present. You maybe even watch an educational video, or you play some music, or you're having breakfast with those you love, and like that's a scene you would want in your ideal movie. So that's on a micro level. You can take it on a macro level and say, well, you know, thinking about the movie of my life in general, what scenes do I want in my movie? And for me, that is such a way to catapult, to catalyze, such a way to really catalyze yourself to be authentic. So, I guess to recap this whole video, there's no such thing as work, because this whole life is the journey of being yourself, really, and enjoying the movie that is your life, and improving the scenes in your own movie and creating new scenes that have never been there before. And in terms of work in the capitalist society, it's just about aligning your passion with the passion of others and becoming the person that can attract a certain amount of money. And that just means that you are of value and benefit to others because you give them energy, you give them joy, you give them success, and of course you give all that to yourself as well because it's your passion. For me, that's the way I'm trying to live my life. So hopefully this was insightful to you. Let me know what you learned most or what resonated with you most about this video. Peace. Stay well and stay true to yourself.